The West Indies were just too good for England in 1966, and they were generally regarded as the world champions in those middle 60s. But in 1967-68, England went into the Tour of the Caribbean in some disarray. Brian Close, who'd been successful as a captain, had offended many by delaying tactics in a match against Warwickshire for Yorkshire, and when he refused to apologise, MCC vetoed his captaincy. So Colin Cowdrey, with little confidence from the selectors, led the side, and to the surprise of many, they held the upper hand in each of the first 3 tests, but couldn't press home the advantage. The 4th test in Trinidad seemed to be drifting towards another draw when Garfield Sobers sensationally declared, setting England 215 to win in 165 minutes. It was a chase that the England captain didn't particularly relish.
I think in the match, West Indies scored 530 in very, very hot weather, and that wearied us, and we just came back of it. We made about 400. It was a very good wicket. But in that 400, which I got quite a lot, I think I got 148. But suddenly we were going well, and Rodriguez came on, who was a brilliant leg spinner and googly bowler and very dangerous, especially at Trinidad, because in Port of Spain, Trinidad, there was no sight screen at the pavilion end. And he was lethal. It wasn't just that he got 3 wickets in a hurry. He might have got 19 wickets in a hurry, because the way we all struggled against him. I was lucky enough to be in, and I struggled less than the others. But the new batsman, I mean, it could have been a sort of under-11 match at prep school. You never knew, you don't know what's happening. And Gary remembered this. And he reckoned that if he could have another go at us in the second innings, and it looked as if he was unlikely to, we were so bad at it that, you know, he could bowl us out for 10. I think he really did feel that. And on the last day, time was running out. We were eking out. We were dead tired. It was terribly, terribly hot. I can remember it. And we got to lunchtime and realised there were only about 4 hours to go, and thought, oh, gosh, we've escaped here and survived. And then we go to Guyana for the last match, which was a good wicket. We have a good match, start again. We'd only been going about 20 minutes, and somebody on the field noticed, I think Robin Hobbs noticed, that the players, who were all out on the front as we'd left, had dashed inside, and there was going to be a declaration. And quite honestly, it was the last thing I wanted. I was more tired, perhaps, than the others, being the captain, but and I was fearful of this chap, Willie Rodriguez. And they left us 215 to get in 2 3/4 hours. Which in club cricket is a good declaration. In test cricket, when you're bowling overs very slowly, that's a lot to get. And then you could speed up the overs a bit with the spinners going if they're on top.
Colin Cowdrey, the century maker in the first innings, now coming in to see if he can perhaps increase the tempo a little bit.
I was so weary. I thought it was a pretty tall order. And it did hinge on the start, really. And others were saying, come on, you know, I think the others were saying, we'll have a little dart at it. If we have a chance, we'll get these, you know. Tom Graveney was particularly bullish. In fairness, the others were more optimistic than I was, but once we got a start, then it did start to look different. Unfortunately, I played well at a vital point.
Gibbs to Boycott on 49. That's his 50. Sobers fielding by the square leg umpire. 80 runs needed as Cowdrey faces Gibbs. And he's hit that hard and high, and it's going down the long on boundary, and it's 4 runs, well clear of all the fielders. England score 140 for 1, chasing a target of 215, which means they need 75 in 55 minutes.
Sobers comes in, bows to Cowdrey, and he's played that one down to fine leg, and it's 4 more runs. 4 more runs to Cowdrey. Sobers in, bows to Cowdrey, and he's hit that through, and it's 4 runs. So England now need 47 runs for victory. Gibbs comes in, bows to Cowdrey, and he's hit that high, and he's going to be out. That's the end of Colin Cowdrey's magnificent innings. Caught Sobers, bowled Gibbs for 71. Gibbs comes in, bows to Boycott, and he's hit that high, and it's gone for 4 runs. 19 now for victory. Gibbs comes in, bows to Boycott, and he's cut that one down. It's 4 more runs. 9 runs for victory in over even time. As Gibbs comes in, bows to D'Oliveira, and he's inside edge, and it's gone down to fine leg, and they're going to take 2 runs. 3 runs needed now for victory, and it could well be that this is the last over of the day, of the match. And he's hit that to mid-wicket. They've taken 1, and they're taking another 1. 2 runs. Gibbs comes in, bows to D'Oliveira, and he's played around the corner, and they're taking it. England have won. England won a memorable victory with probably 2 balls to go.
It was an extraordinary match. And of course, having won, Gary Sobers was held up to be the stupidest captain of all time. You know what it is, if you win, you're a champion. If you lose, you're an idiot. He was booed out of airports for someone, all that sort of thing. It was pretty wretched. But for us, it was, in a way, a lucky break. But we had deserved to be... We could have been 2 up early on. We should have won the first test. And we should have won the second test, actually. So we were morally up. And gradually they were climbing back.
England drew the 5th test mainly due to the resilience of Alan Knott, who joined his captain when England were 41 for 5 before lunch on the final day and was still there at the end. England lost their 9th wicket with 5 minutes to go, and Jones had to survive a final over from Gibbs for England to become holders of the Wisden Trophy for the first time.
Just 1 more ball to survive. The last ball of the match. The last ball of the match, Jeff Jones, 7 fielders round his bat. Gibbs comes in, bowls it, and he plays it down, and England have saved the match. Surely there's not time for another over. It's dead on 5:30 by the clock, and they're taking them off. England have saved the match, and England have won this 1968 Test Series against the West Indies.